Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Conal Rosario. Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant distributed portfolios to all his 8 state ministers while retaining crucial Home and Finance Department with him. The notification allotting portfolios to all the ministers who were sworn in recently in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi was issued on Sunday.
Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant allocated the portfolios to his 8 ministers while retaining Home and Finance. Minister Vishwajit Rane, who has retained Health and Women and Child Development portfolios, is number 2 in the cabinet and has been given key portfolios of Town and Country Planning, Urban Development and Forest. Here's more in the full story.
Well, big news came on this Sunday evening wherein Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant allocated portfolios to his 8 ministers while retaining Home and Finance. Minister Vishwajit Rane, who has retained the Health and Women and Child Development portfolio, is number 2 in the cabinet and has been given key portfolios of Town and Country Planning, Urban Development and the Forest. Senior Minister Mervyn Godino, 3 portfolios, Transport, Panchayat and Protocol, are also retained, while Industries is an additional allocated to him. Ravi Naik, who switched from the Congress to the BJP before the General Assembly polls, is allocated Agriculture, Handicrafts and Civil Supplies, while Nilesh Cabral has been given Public Works Department besides Legislative Affairs, Environment and Law and Judiciary. Now, Subhash Shirokar, who hold the charge of WRD Co-Corporation and Providia Variance, Rohan County is allocated one of the most demanding tourism portfolio. The Pororim legislator, also among some of the leaders who joined the BJP prior to the polls, will also handle the IT and printing and stationery portfolios. Govind Gowde has been allotted Art and Culture, Sports and RDA, and finally Babush Montserrat is given Revenue, Waste Management and Labour. His MLA wife excluded from the cabinet was the Minister of Revenue and Labour during the previous government. She also was the IT Minister that has been allotted to Rohan County. Education, Power, Social Welfare, Animal Husbandry, Tribal Affairs, R&D, Archives and Archaeology, Fisheries, Legal, Metrology, Information Department, Captain of Ports will be looked after by CM until the cabinet expansion. This is Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Petrol and diesel prices were on Sunday again hiked by 80 paise a litre each, taking the total increase in rates in less than 2 weeks to 8 rupees per litre. This is the 11th increase in prices since the ending of the 4.5-month-long hiatus in rate revision on March 2022. In all, petrol prices have gone up by rupees 8 per litre.
Petrol diesel prices have been hiked once again. In all, petrol prices have gone up by 8 rupees per litre. Summer hasn't arrived fully yet, but Goans have broke out in a sweat. This is the 11th increase in price since the ending of the 4.5-month-long housed in the rate revision in March 2022. Petrol and diesel prices were on Sunday hiked again by 80 paisa a litre each, taking the total increase in the rates less than 2 weeks to 8 rupees per litre. This is the 11th increase in the price since the ending 4.5-month-long hiatus in the rate revision of March 2022. In all, petrol prices have gone up by rupees 8 per litre. The summer has fully not arrived yet, but Goans have already broke out in the sweat. With fuel price continuously rising day by day, homemakers and several other people across the state and the country are with their wit end on how to make things work. The continuous price hike is driving homemakers nuts, completely wrecking their budget. Homemakers dread reading the newspapers each morning of fear of fuel price rising again. But after the Goa budget, the fuel price is killing the home budgets of the common man. Fuel prices across the country have been raised yet again. Oil marketing companies raised petrol and diesel prices on Sunday by 80 paise per litre each. It's Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Do you remember the case of Pisurle farmer who was allegedly assaulted by the police at the Valpoi police station? Today, Team Herald TV met the farmer Hanuman Parab, who had filed a complaint against the Valpoi PI and DYSP for allegedly assaulting him. Speaking to Herald TV, Parab said that he had written a complaint against the police officers, but till date there is no action taken against them. They continue to join duty and roam freely.
No action has been taken against Valpoi PI and DYSP for allegedly assaulting the farmers. Farmer leader Hanuman Parab demands action against the police officers.
तुमचे तो मारहाण जाल्ली तेजी तुम्ही कंप्लेंट केल्या वाळपय पुलीस स्टेशनार ठीक आयज म्हणजे तुमकां आपयले चौकशी खातीर कितें खंय पावली ती कंप्लेंट तुमची
आमी कंप्लेन दिली पूण आज पर्यंत तेजेर कांयच चौकशी जाल्ली ना आमकां कोणाकूच आफोवंक ना लेखी स्वरुपात आमी कंप्लेन दिली तांच्यांनी विचारूंक जाय आसलें म्हणजे आमकां दिसना की पुलीस डिपार्टमेंटाक भितर इंट्रस्ट आसा असो हांवें ह्या 2 दिसां पयलीं DGP कडेन आमी गेल्ले फाटल्या विकान मेळपाक सगळे शिष्टमंडळ जेन्ना पणजे आसले तेन्ना आमकां टायम दिवंक ना DGPन त्या पयलीं आमी रिटन कंप्लेन दिवपाक गेल्ले तेन्ना मेळपाचो प्रयत्न केलो आनी परत काल अपॉयंटमेंट मागल्या पूण अजून पर्यंत आमकां अपॉयंटमेंट दिवंक ना सो खंय तरी ऑफिसराक प्रोटेक्ट करपाचें हें डिपार्टमेंटल आनी भितर आमकां कळ्ळां की राजकीय व्यक्ती जो 70रीचो राजकीय व्यक्ती भितर इनवॉल्व आसा आनी स्थानीक आमचे पिसुल्ल्याचे राजकीय लोक आसा आनी हें षडयंत्र तेंच्यांनी रचून हो आमचो शेतकऱ्यांचो म्हणजे जो आमचो जो मुवमेंट आहा तो मुवमेंट तोडपाचो एक षडयंत्र त्यांनी केल्लें आसा आनी भितर मायनींग लॉबीचे पूर्ण सहकार्य आसा
तुमच्या कोणा तरी जाणटे बायलीक आपोवन हाडल्या पुलिसांनी चौकशी खातीर कित्याक लागून
तोच जे आमी धरणेक बसलेले पिसफूल सगळे पिसुल्ले शेतकरी संघटनेचे सगळे आमचे पदाधिकारी आसले आनी लोक आसले त्या दिसा आमी बसलेले बायलां आसली पूण हो एक प्रकारचो मानसीक छळ तांकां हॅरेसमेंट करपाचो पुलिशेन एक प्रयत्न सुरू केल्लो आसा ह्या गोष्टीचो आमी निशेध करता आनी आमी सगळे एकजूट रावन हेजेर आमी योग्य ती कितें आसा ते आमचो जो फुडलो प्लॅन करतले ऑलरेडी आमी ऑनरेबल हायकोर्टा मुखार ऑलरेडी याचिका दाखल केल्ली आसा 2 दिसां पयलीं ती सुनावणी केल्ली आसा आमकां जे शेतीचे जे प्रश्न आसा जे आमी पयलीं पिटिशनान घातलेले जे डायरेक्शन आसले ते आतां आमी फ्रेश पिटिशन घेवन गेल्ले आसा आनी ह्या विका भितर अधिकारी येवन पाण्याची जी शहानिशा करून जंय जंय पाण्याची शॉर्टेज आसा ड्रिंकींग पर्पज थंय ते तांकां डायरेक्शन्स हायकोर्टान दिल्ले आसा आनी परत 6 तारीख ही परत मॅटर दवरलेली आसा
तुमच्या त्या दिसा पुलिसांनी तुमचे मारहाण केली तुम्ही तुमच्या हक्का खातीर थंय रावलेले सो ताचेर तुमचे कितें मत तुमचे आयज म्हणजे तुमकां न्याय मेळलो ना
आमचें म्हटलें कितें आमकां शेताक पाणी जाय माती काडून दिवपाक जाय आमकां गांवान खावपाक उदक ना तेन्ना ते सिंटॅक्सां दिवपाची आसली ती दिवंक ना अजून तेका लागून आमी थंयसर मायनीर गेल्या वराक पयलीं हनुमान परबाक गाडयेर घातलो आनी मागीर आमकां घातले आनी बायलां फुडल्यान गेली जाल्यार बायलांक फुडल्यान हातीक धरले आनी कडेक काडले तरी जावन आमी सांगले की आमी येवपाक तयार ना सगळ्या लोकांक घे तर म्हणपाक लागले तांकां हाडटा आमी थंय वाळपो वचून अर्दे वर बसून बसले तांकां हाडिना म्हणून तर तुमी देवा हाडटा म्हणपाक लागले आमी देवोंक ना थंयूय परत आमकां गाडयेन ते मुद्दम पर्सान काडले ते वयले आनी मागीर तेज्या उपरांत आमकां भितर गेल्या उपरांत आमकां भितर घातले लॉकअपान घातल्या उपरांत हनुमान परत हो भितर गेला आसतलो टॉयलेटींतल्यान येयला आनी एक फोन करता म्हणपाक लागलो बायले फोन करता असं म्हणून साहेब येयलो आनी साहेब म्हणपाक लागलो फोन बीन कांय ना म्हणपाक लागलो हातीक धरलो आनी ओडून काडलो आनी मारपाक सुरवात केली ताका आनी मागीर बाकीच्यांक पड्या करपाक लागलो आमच्या समोर सारको हेका सोडिना म्हणपाक लागलो हेका भितरूच दवरता तेजे कंप्लेन आहा म्हणपाक लागलो
सो तुमचे आंदोलन चालूच उरतले तुमकां जो पर्यंत न्याय मेळना ते पर्यंत तुमचे जो
एकजुटान करतले न्हू सगळे एक हेचो सगळे शेतकरी मेळोन नाजाल्यार कितें फायदो आमकां लागून हो आतां एकटो झडटात जाल्यार बाकीचे तरी येयना जाल्यार कितें फायदो ना न्हू
Story by Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
Pope Francis has named Father Earl K. Fernandez, a Goan origin priest of the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, as the Bishop of Columbus. The appointment was publicized in Washington on April 2nd by Archbishop Christophe Pierre, Apostolic Nuncio to the United States.
Pope Francis names Father Earl K. Fernandez, a Goan origin priest of the Archdiocese of Cincinnati, as the Bishop of Columbus. The appointment was publicized in Washington on April 2nd by Archbishop Christophe Pierre, Apostolic Nuncio to the United States. Father Earl K. Fernandez was born on September 21, 1972, in Toledo, Ohio. He attended St. Francis de Sales High School in Toledo and then the University of Toledo, where he earned a bachelor's degree in biology. Father Fernandez attended Mount St. Mary's Seminary of the West in Cincinnati and holds a licentiate and doctoral degree in moral theology from the Alphonsian Academy in Rome, Italy, 2004 to 2008. He was ordained to priesthood on May 18, 2002, for the Archdiocese of Cincinnati.
To understand the call for me to the priesthood, one has to understand something about my family. My parents and two brothers came to the United States from India. They came in 1970. And in 1971, 72, and 73, they had 3 more boys. So we're a family of 5 with no one in this country. And when my father came to the United States, the Sisters of Mercy gave him a place to stay so he could work as a physician in a hospital. My mother raised us and taught us the faith. My parents encountered many of the challenges that many immigrants encounter, and a lot of prejudice, to be honest. And so my mother and father taught us that we have no family in this country, but what we do have is our faith in God. So I always thought about being a priest from the time I was a little child. But my mother taught us our prayers, and she'd pray that you be a good boy, a tall boy, and a doctor, like my dad. I happen to be the tallest one in my family, so at least I'm 1 for 3. But I always kept this with me. During my junior year of college, I studied in England. And there was an Irish priest there who was a great preacher, and he really inspired me by his example. Father Ian Kelly was his name. So I said, I'm going to talk to that priest about being a priest. And so I was getting ready to travel on one of those Euro-rail passes through Europe at the time. And he gave me some things to read and to think about. And I remember going to St. Peter's Basilica that first time. I went down into the crypt of the popes. And I came to the tomb of St. Peter, and I was just completely overcome and overwhelmed. And I dropped to my knees. And at that moment, I knew God is calling me to be a priest. And so I entered the seminary in 1997 and was ordained as a priest in 2002. And there was a real sense of support of the priests and the whole people of God here in Cincinnati, that men were still saying yes to the call. And I think someone loved enough to bring my family the gospel. And if I in some way can bring that joy to others, I will.
Bureau Report for Herald TV.
The king of all fruits, the mango, is back in the market. This is the most awaited fruit across the world. But this time, to have the king of fruits, one needs to pay a bit more, as the king has arrived, but with a hefty price tag.
Mangoes, the king of fruit, is back in the market for the season. This year, mangoes are much more expensive than last year.
आता कसले कसले आसा घेवन आमी
हांगा आमचे कडेन मानकुराद आसा, आपूस आसा, पायरी आसा, मुसराद आसा,
ओके
आनी आमचे सिंदुरी आसा, आनी तोतापुरी तोरां आसा ही.
ओके कसो आहा मार्केट सद्या
सद्या मार्केट डावन आसा. पावस पडल्या कारणान वेदर चेंज जाल्ल्या कारणान मातसो माल कमी येता.
रेट कितें आहा
सद्या मानकुराद रेट 15,000 बरो. हे आपूस हेजो रेट आसा 8,000 रुपया. तो मानकुराद आसा मातसो म्हारग तो म्हणजे A1 क्वॉलिटीचो.
कितें मानकुराद कसो आहा
खंयचो
मानकुराद
15,000 रुपया 100.
ओके पूण बरें आसा तें हें
बरें बरें
पीक खूब आसा.
पीक आसलें पूण जे पावटेसान पावस पडलो आनी वेदर चेंज जालें, दव पडलो, ताका लागून 50% एक आमकां मातसो हें जालो, डॅमेज जालो. आतां फुडें येतलो मे म्हयन्यान बरो येतलो आनी कित्याक 1 म्हयनो लेट गेला वेदरा खातीर.
कितल्यांक सुरू जाता मार्केट
आमी 3:30 3:30 एक्झॅक्ट 10:30
सुरू जाता.
आनी 3:30 लोक येवपाक लागता हांगा. फोंडेच्यान येता, म्हापशेच्यान येता, पणजेच्यान, वास्को, सांग्यार, सावड्डा, फोंडा, सांग्यार सगळे येता.
डिमांड बरो आहा बाजारान.
हय, हें आमचें होलसेल मार्केट. हांगांतल्यान सगळ्याक मागीर वयता.
Story by Sagun Gaude for Herald TV.
For Hyderabad FC, it was their first Indian Super League final, but for their keeper, Lakshman Kattimani, it wasn't the same. He was in a similar situation before, and the last time he appeared in the final, it wasn't his night. The former FC Goa custodian Katimani ended up on the losing side after conceding 2 goals at the death, of which he was blamed for by many. Ultimately, Goans saw him going away from the Fatorda stadium, but this time things were different. Katimani spoke his heart out with Herald TV's Newsmakers episode.
Winning at Fatorda was very important for me, Indian Super League champion Lakshmikant Katimani. Katimani also spoke about how difficult things were for him after losing a match years ago in Fatorda itself. For Hyderabad, it was their first ISL win and finals, but for their keeper Lakshmikant Katimani, it wasn't the same. He was a similar situation before. Last time he appeared in the final, it wasn't his night. The former FC Goa custodian Katti ended up in losing sides of conceding 2 goals at the death, of which he was blamed by many. Katimani once again in a similar situation but a different skin at the stadium where he lost his first title. It was an emotional return for the former Gaur. He looked more confident than ever before. Speaking to Clinton D'Souza on Herald TV's Newsmakers, Katti spoke from his heart the situation, why was it important for him to win here at Fatorda. Watch the full episode this Tuesday, only on Herald TV.
All the past ghosts that were tagged to you unnecessary. Do you want to comment on that anything first before I continue?
Not really, because I think 2015 the final, if a goalkeeper who's in my position will know about that situation, yes. Because it's the error is not because of me, it's because of Pranay, because Pranay came on fell on me and my jump was short, but that nobody knows. The only thing people know is that the ball is gone in the net and they think that's a goalkeeper mistake. So I never felt like I should like tell people that so and so thing happened. Yeah. But from there on, like, it was difficult for me to come out because I lost a final at Fatorda, which we were in a good position to win, and for a few days I couldn't sleep. It was like a nightmare. For almost like 1 month I couldn't sleep, and then slowly I gained my confidence, and then I had a good second division I league, and there on like I improved my game, and finally what I wanted I got.
That too at
Fatorda.
Okay. What was that? What I want, looking at the past, as you just said, you don't want to like elaborate more on that, but I want to know what was that feeling to lift the trophy, wear that gold medal at Fatorda itself?
It was like a best moment to win a trophy at Fatorda, because we got a chance to play at Fatorda this final, and I was not thinking about anything. Only thing like to win this match. But I think in first goal it was my error which I conceded. But with Tawara's brilliant goal, it gave me a lot of confidence to play extra time. I was like really motivated and high in confidence. So if we go to penalties, I know that I need to save. And I was calm because I knew like in whole season this guy was behind. This guy was shooting like I don't know how many 500,
300 to 500 penalties also he took.
Whole season. After training, this guy and me.
So basically, Katti saves because of the training we had together.
Only one day I didn't train penalties or before the final.
I think that's why you managed.
Before the final, I didn't take any penalties because I was like, okay, I knew that if we go to penalties, I have to do my best. And at penalties, I was like really calm and focused, and I think that helped me to save 3 penalties.
When you conceded the goal, what was the situation? What was the situation when Sahil scored before going into the penalties?
When I conceded, it was like I wanted not to concede any more goals and keep it 1-0 only. And we knew that we'll put pressure and we'll try to get a goal. And the goal Tawara scored will be remembered always.
It's Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
A total of 190 athletes from across and outside Goa successfully completed the second edition of the Vorat 5.55 Duathlon organized by the Propedalers Cycling Club Margao in Benaulim on Sunday. The participants first rode their cycles on the 55-kilometer course, Benauli Beach to Karangini and back, and followed up the same with a 2.5 or a 5-kilometer beach run.
190 athletes successfully completed the Vorad 5.55 Duathlon race organized by the Pro Battlers Cycling Club of Margao at Benauli Beach on Sunday. Blanche Temudo came first among all women, while Vinayak Gaonkar came overall first among 190 participants. The event was flagged off by Indian football star Clifford Miranda, and medal distribution took place at the hands of Padmashri Brahmanand Shankwalkar, former India football captain and goalkeeper. While there were no competitive finishing places and prizes, well-known triathlete Vinayak Gaonkar finished first overall, and Blanche Temudo finished first among women participants. The youngest participant was 16 years old, while the oldest was 68 years. There were quite a few participants who travelled from out of state to participate in the event.
Story by Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Recently, the leading construction company in Goa, Rajdeep Construction, held their annual day celebration, during which they also launched their sister concern, Rajdeep Maintenance Services.
Story by Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
Well, that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thank you for watching Herald TV News. And for more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.